Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? This is the weekly reading. Not a subscriber, you probably wouldn't have been notified, but if you subscribe and hit the notifications, you can come on for a not a one-on-one, but a group reading, a general reading. This is a general reading for the end of April, and then you can ask questions at the end. Yeah, you can ask questions, guys, at the end. What I do is I go through the general reading. Ooh, what's going on there? I go through the general reading, excuse me, and then I go through your signs of earth, air, fire, and water. Interesting. That popped out. This is Divine Deck, guys. This is Divine Warrior Intuitive for a reason. Because my downloads come a lot from not only my spirit guides, but I definitely get a lot of messages from Divine. And it's if you have some abilities right now, they're going to get stronger and stronger if you allow them in. Because we're in a time of a lot of dimensional openings. And what that means is of higher levels, lower levels being frequencies. And what you tap into, you can transform into higher self. Okay. Higher frequency, higher self, higher energy, whatever you want to call it. Or you can do the opposite. So be really careful what frequencies you tap into, because it will bring you to either really highs or really lows. And also, too, when you're hitting the really lows, you're paying attention to everything that's going on in the news. You're paying attention to all the crap that you're being told, the lies you're being told, I heard illusions. Yeah, they are illusions. There's a lot of illusions that are being told to you guys. So be careful in the energies that you're tapping into and walk away from those low vibrational energies, people that are talking negative all the time, complaining all the time. They are gossiping all the time. These are low vibrational energies you want to stay away from, because right now it's like a shift. There's a whole shift happening, and so that can bring you really to your next level of yourself in your hierarchy of your mind, but also not only that, but your spirit. All right. Welcome. Good morning. Well, is it morning now? I don't know. I ended up having to go to the doctor, guys. I had a little incident. So they're having to check my brain. I've never been normal, let me tell you. I can tell you that from when I was a little girl. So let's get into the readings, see what Divine has to say. Again, if you are new, thank you for coming in. If this resonates with you, I hope it does. There should be something that resonates with you. But if it doesn't, you might hang out to hear what the four signs, air, water, fire, and I was going to air, water, fire, and spring. What is going on with my brain? Let me tell you. And earth. That's it. Okay, so let's get going. All right, and if you hear some snorting in the background, I have a little Frenchie. So she sounds like a pig. She literally does. Somebody asked, "Do you have a pig?" I'm like, "No." All right, and I did do my meditations and everything this morning. It is challenging because of what's going on in my brain right now, but we'll see what happens. All right. So waking the lion, and it's the number 10. Beautiful, beautiful. I will be taking questions at the end. Yes, definitely. But in the lion, this is lion. What are you have to look at what lions are. They're very loyal. So waking the loyal part of you, waking the strength in you, having that courage, um, and they're very confident. I'm hearing confidence. So this is definitely waking yourself up. And I have a feeling that this energy is going to be a lot about confidence, a lot about self awareness, a lot about self building, that kind of a thing in nature. Hello, welcome. So, this is really important because this is Divine's message. Like, if you watch my channel, an energy. And this is who guides you, your main guide. He is the source. He's cards are the resource, they're paper. Anything else is a resource. So we look at that. So we want to pay attention also to the numerology and also what's going on with the planets at that time. And this is the number 10. So this is beautiful energy that he's sharing because, and we'll clarify this a little bit more. However, this is a beautiful energy because this means a death and a rebirth. And that doesn't mean physical death. It means like something internally you, your old self or something, an old habit or whatever is going away. And it may take a lot of energy to create a new habit. Maybe get rid of a toxic friend. Remember, I talked about how there's a lot of energy going on here about vibrations of going to a higher vibration than a lower vibration, picking and everything and that, turning away from that be something for somebody here. I have a coworker that she is just latched on to this person, and I don't know why, but they are so low vibrational and they're using her. And she's like, I just feel bad. I'm like, why? They're not in your journey. They're not helping you. They're using you. They're sucking your energy. And they're using her for her benefits, because I do work for Disney. So they use her for benefits. So, and that's, I'm like, no, you need to stop that relationship because she did book a trip. And then that trip ended up that person brought more people without telling her. So this is what I'm talking about. These energies of humans that go and take and take and take, or they just assume that it's okay, that you're going to be fine with it, and they don't even ask you. And then these are the low vibrational friends that you need to have the boundaries and the standards to go away. Okay. That might be that lion in you, that Leo energy that comes in you and stands and believes in what you want and believes in how you're going to do it and move forward in that energy. But it's the number 10. So something's giving way in somebody's life and then something new. This is an energy. It's like going to be an aha moment. It's also going to be an energy where you're like, oh my God, I should have done that sooner. Really, it's going to be that type of energy. Why did I wait so long? Yeah, the reason why you waited so long is you put somebody else first before you. Okay, you need to put yourself before somebody else. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you? Okay, I'm learning that the hard way. My doctor today. Keep trying Wi-Fi. Hopefully my Wi-Fi might be cutting in and out because I'm in a room that's sort of, I need to probably put a, what do you call that? A remote, or what do you call those things? An extender or something? Whatever. Okay. So the current energy for someone here. So that is Divine's message. Then the current energy for somebody is the High Lady of Love and Compassion, reverence, kindness, and consideration. Again, we're looking at the number 1. Okay. The number 1. So a feminine energy, this is sort of like the Empress energy. This is somebody who gives love and compassion, but what I'm hearing is, I'm hearing from the other side, too much. Too much, you care too much compassion, too much kindness. So that's what leads you into be stepping on or being a mat for somebody else, that they take advantage or they take advantage of you. I can't make this stuff up, guys. This is just download drops nonstop for me to give you this message. It could be even for me, who knows? But the thing is that this is something that is happening in somebody's life, that it's a new energy. It's a number 1. So for somebody, maybe this too is a person who is too hard-headed. Thank you for that. So somebody who's too hard-headed has too much ego, and that needs to tone it down a little bit. Um, I am one of those people that will be blunt and very blunt and honest with you because I care enough not to sugarcoat something. However, maybe as my boss says, can you just soften it a little? And I'm like, why? Well, because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, and I'm like, they need to know the truth. Why wouldn't they want to know the truth? but not all of us think like me. Not all of us think that, you know, you got to be blunt and brutal and honest, because some people are not at that level. Remember, we're talking about frequencies. They're not at that frequency level yet. They're not going to understand it. It would be like talking formulas in science. They're not going to understand it if they don't study that, right? And it's just something that we have to be mindful of. Are they at that level to handle the truth? It's like with that movie, you can't handle the truth. This was sort of like the last reading we talked about, right? Last week. But the thing is, there is a lot of opportunity, a lot of opportunity. And this is a mindset opportunity. This is something not only for you, but it could be for your loved one, your partners, it could be for your work or whatever. It's this is your reading. So I'm not sure what this would resonate with you. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart. I love hearts. All right. Let's see what the reading has. And if you want, I'll say, if you want to ask a question while I get in here into the reading, definitely you can go ahead and ask it now, because I know some people are busy, they want to leave, that kind of a thing. However, I don't like to do it in the middle just because of I'm trying to get in the energy of the reading. All right. And again, don't forget, you can get one-on-one readings. Etsy has them. I have them on Etsy, divinewarriorintuitive.com, or it's not dot, but it is .com too, if you want a half hour or an hour reading. All right. That was me. Okay. If you want those cards out again, please go ahead and bring them forth. All right. Let's see where we're going with this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, there's that sternness. Oh my gosh. Why do you have to be in the middle? All right. Oh dear, dear, dear. So if you remember last week's reading, we're stuck in the past, right? Trying to get unstuck. And what keeps you stuck, and that is what you're holding on to, what you're not letting go, right? That was your last week's reading, and that was for pretty much the middle part of April. That is sort of what's going on here again. However, the beginning of your reading is definitely the swords, the King of Swords. The swords, I love swords. I think they're, besides the cups, I would say swords are my more favorite energy, because again, it can go two ways. It can go destructive or constructive. It can be a good or bad. It's a yin and yang kind of a thing. Oh, thank you. I love those. Thank you so much. Um, Definitely, this is an honest, this is truth, this is standing up for yourself. Again, remember I said once you do it, you're going to have that aha moment. You're going to like, why did I wait so long? Okay, these three cards are very powerful cards together, because we have the Three of Cups, and then we have the number 6 about progress, but we also have the Devil. Remember, I said that being stuck is what are you holding on to? Again, this is almost like a repeat reading, but I hope it's not going to end that way. But what I love about this is that in the front of your reading, you have the King of Swords. In the center of your reading, you have the Queen of Swords. Power couple. Power couple. This means taking back yourself. This means being honest and true to yourself, letting go of the past, letting go of what is not servicing you. Again, the Devil is about uh they keep saying the word illusion, and it's true, because if you think about the Devil card, the Devil is about trickery. The Devil is about to get you to do something he wants you to do. The Devil is about not following your desires, not following what you want, not what it is. So like in a relationship, if you're in a love relationship, making sure that you both are meeting in the middle, that your needs are being met, their needs are being met, and you're in the middle. If neither one's needs are being met, and love is a different language for two different people, so this person might like gifts, this person might need affirmation. Watch my 8 love language video off of Get Balanced 2020 or Divine Warrior Intuitive. There's a difference in how you love. And a lot of the times we do it wrong. We love somebody the way we want to be loved. Wrong. Completely wrong. And I know this from a fact because I lost a marriage because I was trying to give the love of the way I thought he wanted, but it was totally, we're friends now. And we talked about it. It's like, gosh darn, if you would have been this way before, well, it's too late. You're married. So too late. We'll be friends. So, but that's the thing is having that mature, what do you call that? Emotional maturity to be able to be friends after. The thing is, you have to be able to understand where each other is. Otherwise, it does become an illusion. And when it's an illusion, what is it that you try to hang on to? If you were watching on doing magic, they draw you in. They see the end because you wonder what it's going to happen, what's going to do, right? That's the devil. That's the devil card. So what is drawing somebody in to keep you away from your power and your truth? Okay. In relationships, we do this all the time. We give ourselves hoping one, that other person changes, two, hoping that maybe the situation will change, three, listening to all the illusions that, oh, yeah, I'll do that later. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna, and it doesn't happen. So really, really be mindful. God, I don't know who this is for, and I don't know why we're on this track. However, this is going to definitely take patience for somebody. It is going to bring a lot of opportunities because we're looking at the number 1 and number 10. Divine's number is 10. So this is a new start for somebody. This is a new way for somebody. This is like who that's for, but ask the tough questions. I don't know what that is for you. If that's for family, there's a lot of tough questions that you could be asking, and it's very, very fearful to ask because of the answer. This is where the courage comes in to ask that question, and be patient. This is where temperance comes in. Okay, this queen has confidence. If you look at her head, she has her nose slightly up, but she is confident. Her head is tilted, and I am strong. I'm here to do what I need to do. I am not budging until I have it. So this is sort of like the truth of the devil. Okay. I don't know who this is for somebody, but she is standing. So whatever is an illusion, lying on, but something's wrong, paying attention to your intuition, paying attention to what you feel is right. Now, you got to feel it by intuition because a lot of the times we don't want to go by feelings because feelings are fickle. Okay. But when your spirit and your intuition is talking to you, you got to pay attention, but you got to be patient for the answer. Don't push for an answer. Let them process it. Let them think about it. Same if you get in a fight. If you both, and there should never be arguments, there's really no reason to have arguments because that's just a difference of opinion. There shouldn't be any fighting. It's two different opinion, two perspectives, and you have to either agree to disagree in their perspective. And if you disagree, then you have a choice to make. Simple as that. There's no fighting. Why do you have to fight? There shouldn't be any fighting. No disagreeing. Just saying, okay, let me get your perspective. I'll give you my perspective. Let's see if we can compromise, meet in the middle. And if not, then you have a choice to make. Simple as that, guys. It's people make it so hard. But again, people are so fearful to ask the question. Okay, do you want to date? Where are we in this relationship? Are we actually dating? Are we uh, exclusive? Do you want to have kids? How much money do you make? What is your goal in life? So, why are people so afraid to ask that? The reason why? A lot of hurt. A lot of hurt. Again, it's allowing you to take and put those guards down. If you put the guards down, you'd be amazed at the answers that you get. Again, this is the energy right now. And you do it in love and compassion and empathy on how you would want it done. So I don't know who this is for, but it's for somebody that has a relationship in, I want to say a love relationship because there's cups here, there's no pentacles at all. This is definitely a relationship issue. And that could be with a partner, a friend, a lover, a married couple, a boss. Because even though there isn't pentacles in here, it still is a relationship with another person. All right. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but definitely let's get some clarification. All right. All right. And then we'll go on to your signs. All right. And I would love to know what signs you are, if you're your air, if you're fire, if you're earth, if you're water. I would love to know. I would love to know where you're from. Making a warrior community, because that's what you guys are. You're warriors. We're out in the world and we are in a spiritual battle. We are in a spiritual battle. Okay. So call yourself a warrior. Definitely. Definitely talking about your future. Holy Toledo. Oh. Oh. You guys probably wonder what the heck? Oh, what is she saying? Okay. A lot of opportunity, but a lot of hurt. A lot of, not only, oh, we got the death card, the three of swords, the wheel of fortune, we got the 10 of pentacles, the most best card of the deck, the moon, hidden things, and again, strength. At the very end, it's all about strength, right? Welcome, Canada. Hello, Canadians. I'm in Oregon, so you're not too far from us. Well, unless you're way over there. But on your card of the Knight of Swords, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. But because this is in the beginning of your reading, you know, people aren't noticing it as much, or maybe you're in the beginning stages of seeing what type of opportunity you have. If it's something that you're afraid of, because what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is somebody wants to start this a relationship or wants to start a friendship, but fear is really holding you back. I don't know who that's for, because, and you got to let that go. You got to let that fear go and jump in. If you don't try, you're not going to know. Okay, you're not going to know, because this is the beginning of your reading. It's a number 10 again. Okay, get rid of the old fear and just say, you know what, I'm going to go in. What's the worst that can happen? They can say no. Or I don't believe in failure. I'm listening to a podcaster and I'm listening to Barbara Corcoran. She's from the I love entrepreneurs, I love investors, because they're that high energy, they're that high vibrational energy, and they give you hope, they give you ideas, they want you to succeed, they want you to move forward. And what she was kept saying is, and I kept saying, no, you just learned. She would say, when I'd fail at a business, and nobody fails. Take that out of your vocabulary. There is no failure. If you say, I'm going to ask them, or I'm going to try this, or whatever this is, again, that does take courage because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. But the other thing too is you learn a lesson. Whether they say no, okay, I learned that person wasn't good for me, or maybe it's not the right timing, or whatever it is. So that takes courage to do that. If you're asking for a promotion, I don't see pentacles, but something with your boss and you're needing to ask and get it out, do it. Don't let fear hold you back. They're not going to fire you for it. They're going to say, wow, thanks for being honest. Thanks for coming to me about that. Because here's the second card out is your Three of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. A win, 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 win. So, what is it that you're needing to ask? I don't know who this is for, but whatever you're trying to ask, jump in, do it. And if it doesn't work out, then that is just not in your path right now, and you saved so much time. And why is your fear holding you back? A ton of hurt, a ton of pain, and you are holding on to, oh, thank you, you're sabotaging yourself. Somebody on the other side is saying, stop sabotaging yourself. We are our hardest person on ourselves, and we are. Thank you for that. It is. It's very true. It's very, very true. So, and I'm going to say this like I told last week, and I'll tell you probably every week. When you bring the past relationships into your present and a brand new person, it on. So you're saying that you're not going to give this new person a chance because you've been cheated on and you're going to expect it from them. Shame on you, because this new person may be the best thing that happened to your life, and you already sabotaged it. Okay, that's a bull that's going to buck you right off. Okay, sorry guys, I froze. So I'm sitting here waiting for it to start. So hopefully I didn't lose you all. All right. Okay. And I lost my train of thought. So hopefully everybody's still here. Okay. So let's get back to where we were going. So if you're just tuning in, the channel froze. I'm back. We're doing a general reading for the end of April, and then we're going to go into your signs. All right. So don't, what I'm trying to say is think about the ways that you are holding yourself back. Think of where fear is got you. If you look at the guys on the bottom there, their chain around their neck is very loose. So again, as we talk about the devil card, the illusions that he brings and the trickery and the manifestations to try to get you because he knows what you love, you can actually take that chain off and left. But the thing is, some people don't want to. It's sort of like when you talk about abuse, unfortunately, abusive relationships, and you ask, well, why didn't you leave? So I know, as odd as it seems, sometimes that abuse is the only attention that they get, and that's better than no attention. And that's what they're used to and what they will accept and stay with. So we're not here to judge anybody or anything of that nature. It just is their way. So there's no right way, no wrong way to live life. It's just how you perceive life. If you feel you want to be shackled to something, or if you want to let go of something. Again, this is about the number 10. Again, you guys, death. This is a choice. This is a choice in which way you want to go. Okay. It's the number 11 and the number 13. So with a number 11, again, it's bringing a unity, a bonding. It's also bringing a new foundation. This is at the center of the reading, guys. So something with a new foundation, it's like, let's get going. I keep hearing, let's get going. Let's get this moving. Stop. I don't want to say that. Do I have to put a fire under your, and that's what they're saying. I don't know who that's for. It's like, do I have to, they're talking to somebody, because it's like, do I have to put a fire under your to get you going? And I'm like, I don't know who that's for, but maybe you know somebody that is passed on that would say that to you, because sometimes we procrastinate out of laziness, or we become too compliant. All right. So with your patients, you are going to stand up for yourself, because you're going to show this new person that you're trying to become. Okay. And again, remember, you're your worst saboteurs, so you're going to talk yourself out of things, but be patient with the process, whatever you're doing, or whoever you're with. Some people want to rush into relationships, and it's like, well, we went out on one date, and when are they going to call again? Are we going to do this? Oh, they haven't called for 2-3 days. Oh, it's like we're not patient. And the thing is, sometimes we get ghosted, but the other times, it's a processing thing. And if you're too much of a hurry, it may not be a good thing. So you got to be really, really careful on what you wish for. With your temperance card, you have, let's see what we got here. I've got a slight headache from what's going on in my head today. 18. So that's number 9. And the number 8 and 9. Okay, so this is a process. You're not going to see results immediately. That's why there is the temperance. So you have to keep doing this over and over, whatever it is, whether it's a person or whatever. This isn't nitpicking, guys. You're not going to do it over and over. Well, I asked you to do this twice. I asked you to do this 3 times. Or why can't you remember this? Why can't you do blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, you're not going to be able to see it immediately, but it's going to be an aha moment where you're going to go, oh, um, I'll give an example. ADHD meds. Some of them take a little bit to start up and start kicking in, and there's other medications that you'll see instantly. This is not one of those instant things, all right? So it is something that is going to take just a little bit of time. So be patient with that. Whoever it is, again, whatever fear is driving you, knock it out of the wall. Get rid of it. And you know what's great about living a fearless life? It is that it brings you peace and calmness because you have your clarity in front of you, whether it's low vibrational or high vibrational. You have that clarity right in front of you. You have the King of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords right in front of you. So the fear dissipates and goes away. And like I tell people, if you have a fear of something, run towards it, don't run away from it. And if it's something that maybe you need help with, like, my daughter loved the water. She loved the water. She loved the water. She saw me scuba dive, or she didn't see me scuba dive, but she knew I did. And the thing is that she wanted to learn how to scuba dive. She didn't have a good teacher because they weren't paying attention to her and she almost drowned. So now she has a fear of water. And so it's going to take some steps to get back into the water, but she will do it with the right coaches, with the right people, with the right compassion, with the right empathy to get her over that fear. She can't just go and do it by herself. She needs somebody. There are some things that you will need help with. Yeah. Oh, thank you. And I'm trying not to give advice. I'm just trying to give ideas. I'm trying to give things that, divine is trying to share or the spirits are trying to share with whoever I'm supposed to touch with. So I don't take the credit. So thank you. I appreciate that though. Yeah, going outside, but that's don't become an agoraphobic though, because then you become fearful of everything outside. You have to ask yourself, why? About why am I fearful about going outside? Am I watching too much media? Number one, am I, because the media lies like no tomorrow. So much of the media is lies. And if you really did research and Googled and figured things out for yourself, you would probably realize we're not in a bad situation like they say we are. Like I said, when I used to do videography, they'll say, if it bleeds, it leads. Make sure it's really dramatic. They're going to make it sound dramatic. So a lot of the things that we are hearing, seeing, whatever. Now, if you live in a rough neighborhood, that might be a concern for being, yeah, afraid to go outside, of course. Then you would have to maybe consider, hey, is this good environment for me? And how do I create those goals to get out of this environment? Yeah. Good, good for you. It's those baby steps. Just do little baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And this is what we're talking about, having that courage and compassion, not only for others, but for yourself, right? We need to do that because whatever is going on this week, and for, let's see, we got another, well, this is almost the last week. Yeah, we're almost in the last week. So this is what we're doing for April, maybe a little bit of May. But the thing is that the illusions. Really ask yourself, is it an illusion? Now, there is a person on here that is an actor, and when they go into their character, it's an illusion because it is not them. So, what is it that you are creating an illusion in your life for? When we create an illusion with a person, that's like going to dating. I was just talking to this with a friend of mine. We were talking about how we put the best foot forward, and how we always look all made up, and what is wrong with going in with what you really want and what you really really are, because we are creating an illusion. So I'm going to do my hair up, I'm going to go buy a new dress, I'm going to do this when I normally wouldn't do that. I'm a tomboy, so I would not normally do that, but I would take what I have, what I like, and then I would go ahead and present myself that way. So I'm not creating a false illusion. That's that first card, remember? The Wheel of Fortune and the King of Swords. That's an illusion. You drive up in a really beat up car, but really maybe you've got a lot of money and you got a nice, I don't know, I don't even like Teslas, but maybe you got a Tesla sitting there or something, or a Mercedes or BMW or whatever. But the thing is that giving the illusion, don't do that to yourself, don't do that to somebody else, and be honest and true, because you've got, I love this card, right in the center, the Queen of Swords, and also the Death card. Okay, the Death card is about making a choice, high vibrational choice, low vibrational choice. Okay, that's where really the Death card is. In this Death card, look at her, she keeps looking back. We can't look back, we need to look forward. It's like a car. Thank you for that analogy. They're giving me the car, the big front window. It's really really big, right? So we look out the front because the window's big, we need to see where we're going, we need to see danger and all that kind of stuff. That rear window is tiny because we don't give a crap what's going on behind us. Somebody hits us, that's their fault. Okay, we don't care about what's going behind us, we got to focus in on what's out here. All right, so I don't know who all this is for, but definitely really pay attention to those illusions. Work on your fears and things of that nature. What is it? Where's that foundation of that fear? Where's the lion? Where you got to make him roar? Rah, rah, rah. Look at it like him roars. Lions are very, very powerful. I love lions. Elephants are my thing, though. But walking in the lion. Also, thank you. So the lion is about loyalty. So if you feel like somebody's not being loyal, or maybe you're not being loyal as much as you should be. And what is loyal? Okay, they're giving me the analogy of a relationship. And loyal is giving your true intentions. What are your true intentions for that friendship, for that love relationship, for that family, for that boss? A lot of the times, the intentions for us for a boss or our job is to make money. And so we're going to manipulate things to make money. Okay. But in a relationship, especially in the beginning of a relationship, what is your intention? Is your intention to date? Is your intention to hang out? Is your intention to have a committed relationship? What is that? Remember, I said ask the tough questions. Where did that go? Ask the tough questions and you'll get your clarity. Okay, that's what you need to find out. I would say if you're writing any of this down, which most people don't, but what is your intention? Ask yourself what your intention is, and ask the other person. That's that really hard question, because you might get a no, and be prepared for it. Hey, we've been friends for 3, 4 years. We've been hanging out. What are your intentions? They should know, especially, I'm sorry, gentlemen usually know before a year what they really want, what they're looking for. And you just have to ask, do you want to be friends? Do you want to be friends with benefits? Do you want to be dating? Do you want to be exclusive? Got to ask those questions, especially early on, or you're wasting your time. All right. Whose reading is this? Oh, it's a general reading. We're actually going to be going on to the signs now. So this was a general reading for the end of April. Then it might go into May, but we're going to go into the signs right now. And what I do is on the signs, I keep Divine's card and your energy up, or whoever energy it is. And then we go into earth, fire, water, and why does spring keep coming up? I know it's spring. Something's going on with the word spring. That's the third time I've heard it. So yeah, those energies. So we're doing that now. All right. Oh, I love you guys. So let's go into, let me get a feeling. We're going to go into fire first. I don't know who this is for, but apparently it needs to be at this time. So when we do fire, we're looking at the walking the lion or waking the lion and the number 10. And again, as a reminder, we're working on the high lady of love and compassion, reverence, kindness, consideration, and the number 1. We're looking at the number 10 and number 1. So number 1 is extremely powerful. Aquarius. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's do fire signs. Let me go with this deck. I haven't used it for a while. I have this specific set of decks set out on this table because sometimes I just need to come back here and do a reading and it's just out of the fly, or somebody asked me a 3-card question kind of a thing. And just remember, I do have Etsy if you want a one-on-one. Those are really quick readings. $4, I think, is what it is. And then if you want a hour readings, I do personal readings. Just go to Divine Warrior Intuitive. Again, I'm very intuitive and an empath. And I don't know about you guys, if you have abilities, if they are heightening, this is normal. Mine are heightening into actually vision, which is really interesting because that's my daughter. My daughter has vision. I have audio. But I'm also, my medium is coming through more and more. So I love it. I embrace it. All right. All right. This is for the fire signs, please. If you can give me any energies, any messages, any signs that you would like me to hear, see, feel for the fire signs. Are these upside down? Oh, dear. Dear. Oh my gosh. These are not, are they upside down? Yes, they are. The bottom deck is up front, upright. Okay. So this is sort of like the little bit of the last one, the general reading. So we have the 8 of Swords again. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Only difference here is that we have, instead of the devil, we have not only the Lovers, but we have the High Priestess. I haven't seen her for a bit. Okay. So this is for the fire signs. What I'm getting is with the Lovers card here, it throws me off a little bit, not only because of the numerology, but also there's an opportunity. There's opportunities that are being missed. I don't know what that is. I don't know who it's for. Because somebody's paying attention to the earth signs more than they are their spiritual, their intuition. It's almost like, okay, I really am looking for a specific look. I like this is just me talking. I like a tall guy. I like them dark. I like them muscular. I like them this way. And it's not what you're seeing, but that person might be the right person. Okay. Sorry, my hair is doing something funny. It's driving me nuts. Uh, but that might be, you're missing the opportunity. Okay. And that's the 8 of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune right side by side. Again, the lion is popping up again in this Wheel of Fortune. They're asking me to look at the lion. So that is definitely making some decisions really hard for you. But when I look at the Priestess, they're asking me to look at the pillars. And if you look at the pillars, you'll see that one is black and one is light. Okay, so you can take that as yin and yang. This is Boaz, and this is gosh, it just went out. Boaz and oh, I can't remember. They're from the Bible. Okay. But the thing is, there are opposites. So sometimes opposites attract. So this is something to really pay attention to. Those kind of things. What is it that's um, in front of you that might be that you should be paying attention to that you're not? Okay, so that is really something. And again, fear is taking over. It's also too age. I'm hearing the word age. There's an age difference. It could be like somebody's much older, the other person's much younger. And don't look at the age, look at the maturity level of this. But this is definitely an opportunity that you're not paying attention to. And the progression is slow because I heard the word guards. Somebody's holding their guards up. There's a lot of guards. Okay. So I don't know what that is for you, but let's find out if there's anything else in there for you. Does this relate to anybody? I'm just curious. Oh, look at this. Another one. Number one. Gosh, number one is brand new, brand new, brand new opportunity, opportunity, opportunity through this reading. Holy Toledo. Lots of ones in this reading. All right. For the fire signs. What is it more that you would like to clarify on the fire signs? I might want to get more on this Wheel of Fortune because it's so vague. And the lion, I get it, it takes courage, but what is it more that you're trying to share with this? Definitely. Let me do the Wheel of Fortune. Oops. I heard the word hindsight. We got the Four of Wands, which is beautiful energies for the future. This is a coming together. It's a new foundation. It's something that's strong. And we also have the Hangman. However, he's in reverse. It's almost like this back and forth relationship. And there's that Dagburn King of Swords again. Building that foundation. That's where the number one comes from too. And the Wheel of Fortune and everything. It's building a new foundation. So somebody needs to create a new foundation for the fire signs. I don't know what it is. Again, if fear is going to hold you back, it's not going to happen. Again, if you have to take baby steps, take baby steps. If you have to leap right in, leap right in. I'm one of those persons that leap right in. Let me know right now because, put me on fire so that I can get out real quick because I want to know because I don't want to waste time. Time is too precious for me. I'm on the downside of life, guys. I am not going to waste time. So, whatever this is going on for you, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's a partnership, whether it has something to do with two people coming together and figuring something out, make sure that you're doing it and how you want to be treated in that manner. Okay. And if you notice, because I hear sensitivities, somebody might be really sensitive and you really have to pay attention to that. And if they are sensitive, embrace that a little bit because again, we talked about levels earlier. They might not be at that level where they can take the truth bluntly. Okay. So you might have to say, hey, and you might don't beat around the bush. I hate that when people beat around the bush. Be direct, but be loving in that manner for somebody because that's where the courage comes. There's ways to communicate fire signs to people, and you can talk to like I love this. I love this dude with all my heart, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He can talk to anybody because he knows how to switch communications to what he can talk to a president and he can talk to somebody who's homeless because he can switch his mindset. Okay, this person doesn't understand this level. I'm bringing it down here. And if he goes to a president, I got to move it up here. What is it that you guys need to adjust to, fire signs, to be able to handle all the different situations, relationships, communications, partners? Again, it's all about communication with you guys because that is the thing that is either going to make or break a relationship. Period. Because if you don't know how to communicate with another person, a lover, a partner, and if you're fearful to ask those questions, like we were talking in the general reading, then that's not the right partner for you. Because if you're fearful to ask it, that you can't be transparent and they can't be transparent with you, then that's not the right partner for you. Don't know who that's for. because you should be able to be transparent with that person comfortably, and you should be able to feel safe and secure. If you're not feeling safe and secure, it's not the right person. Don't waste your time. Learn from a boomer. Don't waste your time. Why do we wait as old people to say, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to say it. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. We should be saying that in our younger years because a fear holds us back. All right. All right, fire signs. I don't know if that's for you or not or whatever. I mean, I hope it resonated with somebody, but hopefully this will help you in your future, at least in the next couple of weeks. Think about it, process it, absorb it, that kind of a thing. Hey, Felix, welcome, welcome. You missed my Leo readings. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. Don't tell anybody. Shh. So I was at the doctor today, and I might have had a mini stroke, okay, or whatever they call it, a TIA or whatever, and it's because I am working 2 jobs too much, and even though I don't feel stressed, I am stressed. I guess my body's stressed. So come June, don't tell my job this, but I'm going to be stepping down. Or I don't think I'll leave 100% because I do like my work, but Doc says you got to slow it down a little bit. I've got a 30-year-old mind in a old body. So I should be able to do more of your, separated readings again, starting June. I will probably tell her after she comes back from vacation, because we have some people going out on maternity leave and a lot of changes in the summer. And I'm one of those that I don't want to leave her hanging. So there's that compassion and love and stuff. But I do know I need to take care of myself first, or there's no Patty. So my daughter would not be happy about that. And I love what I do. So hang in there. I will be giving your separate readings. That's why I'm doing the air, earth, fire, and water signs right now, because I don't have the time, but I want to give you your readings. And again, the one-on-ones. I love doing the one-on-ones. And hopefully I can get more of those starting June. It would help financially. But not only that, I just want to be able to make sure that I can financially afford leaving my job. Okay, so you'll see more of those, probably starting June, sometime in June. I'll let you guys know. So if you're subscribed, make sure you're notified. I will do a little announcement kind of a thing for that. All right. So, woo. I didn't even say what sign yet. All right. So let's go on to, let me think here. Let me think. Let me go on to fire signs. No, I just did fire signs, water signs. Let's go on to water signs. Okay. Okay. What do you got for water signs? Are these upside down? What is me with upside down today? Oh. All right. We got a couple upside downs and a reverse and a couple uprights. So swords again, 2 of swords upright. The emperor again. We got 2 of swords. The emperor. Then we have the knight of wands in reverse. And we also have, gosh dang, lovers. Boy, this must be all about love this month. They're coming up in May. Spring love. Oh, maybe that's why I'm hearing the word spring this whole time. I'm hearing spring, 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 spring. Maybe there is something coming up. Oh, is somebody having babies in spring also? Okay, so the 2 of swords. Emperor. Knight of wands. Something is moving slower than what somebody wants. Okay, this again is for the water signs. Something's moving slower than what you want. And it has to do with, because it's moving slower because they want you to think about, okay, we had the temperance card in the general reading. They want you to think about the time. They want you to make a good decision. They don't want you to be wishy-washy about a decision that you're going to make, because when we look at the emperor, they're having me look at the emperor a lot. And what is an emperor? Emperor really creates solutions. They're a good leader. They're extremely intelligent, but they have wisdom. Wisdom is more spiritually based than intelligence. Intelligence is earthly based, wisdom is spiritual based. So there is something going on that with this relationship, okay, because there isn't one. Okay, so there isn't a relationship for this water sign, and you need to take the time. Now, is this time with you to figure you out before you go into that, or is it time to step back and really pay attention, because this is again about decision making. And it's a slower process, but it's a starting of a new process of how you are going to figure things out. Okay, this is something maybe very new to you. It's building a new foundation, because you have the number 2, the number 4, and number 6 all in sequence, which means things are trying to come together to build a better foundation for the future. Okay. Now, if this is something, I don't know why we're talking about love so much today, because this is what everybody wants in the world, and this is what everybody wants to receive and wants to give. So this is all around the world. But the thing is that this water sign may be hurried into relationships too quickly, and the mindset was, oh, it's this is it, and it's not. And so it would end. It would start and start and start, and because you would jump into things too quickly. So this is a time where divine is actually asking you to have the courage to be a little bit slower, more the temperance card, have a little more patience. If you are, I'm a Virgo, I do get very impatient. I have to step back and say, you know what? Hold the brake, pump the brakes a minute, and see what actually happens. And sometimes I'm so happy I listened to that pump the brakes, because I would sit back and observe. And maybe this is for you, that you need to stop and observe before you make a decision. Okay, because when you jump into something, you can't make a good decision, and then you might get yourself stuck in a situation, or a situationship, or a relationship, or you're going to get stuck in other ways that you don't want to be. um, I heard the word pregnancy, so you don't want to get stuck in that kind of a thing, and not have the wisdom to um, decide on how to do that. That's a really tough one. Oof, I don't like that one. I don't like that analogy at all. But it happens. It's life. Most babies are not born, planned. But they are definitely a blessing. But they are planned from the universe and from another time. So definitely. And just so you know, we're actually in several dimensions at one. I bet you. I'm wondering how many people have deja vu lately, or like, wow, this is weird. I feel like I've been here. We're in a dimensional phase right now. So high frequencies, low frequencies. It's just the frequencies are like static, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So definitely, let's see what we got going here. Queen of Cups, pay attention to that intuition, guys. Oh, yeah, there we go. Pay attention to that intuition because you're not sure which way to go. Okay. You're not sure which way to go. But you've got the Queen of Cups with the Two of Swords. Pay attention to that intuition. You'll know which way to go. You'll know which way to decide. The Emperor is trying to show you. So the 8 of Cups on focus. Oh, thank you. So somebody is being distracted. Take the distractions away so that you can step back, observe, and make a good decision. And you've got it with the four. You've got the Four of Wands. Okay. And the problem is, again, for somebody, you're bringing the freaking past up over and over and over for these new relations. Even if you're not in a relationship right now, this future relationship, you're going to sabotage it by going to the past all the time. You can't do that. You can't you it's detrimental to put that on a new relationship and on a new person. And you really, I feel like somebody in their heart, I really, really want this to work out. If you want it to work out, then stay in the present and be in the present of that person because that person's gone. So that person is maybe a cheater, liar, whatever happened to you, that's gone. If you can keep your mindset in a high vibration, this is fresh, this is a new person's journey, blah, 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 and keep moving forward rather than forward, backward, you will have a new relationship. That takes courage. And it's work, you guys. It is work. And my friend was asking me, why don't relationships, why is it so hard to even date or meet people? It's just like I said, because it's work. It's easy to ghost somebody. It's easy to just say, oh, forget it. It's easy to disrespect somebody that because you're not right in front of them, so it's very easy rather than to be the person that we want to be, compassionate and loving and caring and empathetic, and say, you know what, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. And so I'm not going to do that to another person. I will never ghost another person. Even if I think that they're a total asshole, I won't ghost them. I will just say, you know what, we don't work together. I'm really sorry. I wish you well. I have done that. I've like, don't, I'm not going to waste their time, my time, but I'm not going to be a whole about it. I'm just going to say, I'm really sorry, it doesn't work out. And ghosting is the most immature thing that you can do to somebody. And it causes somebody to wonder. And so it creates a whole low vibrational thing. Why would you do that to somebody? That's just so low vibrational. Anyway, I'm not going to give a lecture. I'm not going to give a coaching, but this is for the water signs. So, what is it that you need to do? Take your blinders or put your blinders on, racehorse blinders. They're focused. Don't let distractions. Really take your time to make a decision and observe. Sit back, observe before you make your decision because the Emperor card is watching. Okay. All right. So that's the water signs. All right, let's go to the earth signs. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, we're going to go to the earth signs. Oh, I'm leaving that one. Oops. Earth signs. I think I'm going to a whole new reading. I could do readings all day, but my brain could not handle it. I would tell you right now. All right. All right, all right, all right. Making sure these are upright this time. Perfect. All right. Let's go for the earth signs. What energies do you have for the earth signs? I would love to know where all you guys are from. I do say a mouthful, don't I? I do say a mouthful. Sometimes I don't remember my readings because these are not for me. And even when we do our one-on-one, I let people record them because I can't remember them and I'm not going to remember them. But you should go back. If you ever get one-on-one readings from anybody, you should go back and review them and see if anything did change or see if you had some growth, especially if you're going to an intuitive or a reader or even a light worker that is trying to help you create a better future, better mindset, that's kind of thing. And that's what I do. Go back because then you can see where you're baby stepping your goals or you're making leaps and bounds. All right. All right. Earth signs. All right. Six of Cups, Queen of Wands, Two of Cups again. Oh my goodness. Page of Wands, and Three of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, somebody's not learning a lesson. Who is not learning the lesson? Okay, so we have the Six of Cups, which I think is really interesting with the Queen of Wands or signs, because this is the reason why is she's facing the Queen of Wands is facing away from the Six of Cups. And what does that mean to me? And then she's sort of the horse and her faced to the Two of Cups. This is almost like the reading I just did because there's a controversy, but the difference between this one for the earth signs is this is somebody you have known. So I want to say this person maybe has gone away and come back. This person may have just been around as friends for a long time. And but this is something from the past that's coming up forward, or it has been there and it's now like facing you and making you wonder about things and which direction it should go. Okay, because the wands are about communication, the wands are about, and you've got Six of Cups and the Queen of Wands between the Two of Cups. Okay. So there is a controversy or a conflict of emotions here. And again, you need the clarity. Okay. You need to have that clarity. And what were we talking about in the general reading? You got to ask the questions. And that's where divine is saying you have to have the courage. Okay. Again, it's the number 10. You've got the number 6 and the number 2. Now, the number 6 and 2 are backwards right now. So the progression has sort of halted because there isn't any movement towards this friendship, relationship, love relationship. And then you have the Page of Wands again, and you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So there's something stuck here. So what is it that you're holding on to, or what fear is holding you back in order to move forward with whatever this relationship wants to move forward, but is holding back? I can relate to this one right now. And I'm an earth sign. So I'm right there with you guys. All right. But the thing is, I don't have fear to ask those questions. So, if asking those questions, those hard questions, even though we went to a next level of friendship, okay, now it's time that I know that this person is not at this level to ask questions. There's so much fear there that that person is not going to ask questions. I need to be the one to step forward to do that. So, are you the one that needs to be stepped forward in love and compassion to unstick where you're at? Okay. Sometimes we have to just get that courage up and do it. Okay. I don't know who that's for. You can ask a question at the very end. Yes. And then we've got one more sign, I think, and we're done. But the thing is, you're not learning and you're not moving forward with it because that fear is standing in the way. Okay. But this is with somebody that, again, is either in the past coming forward that you've known for a while. And gosh, they're asking me to look at her face, the Queen of Wands face, and she's not really happy. So this person is not happy, and they're asking me a Page of Wands head is down. So this is a time where it should be happiness, but it's not. So who's holding back on creating their own happiness so that It's sort of like when you let all the guards down, what wouldn't it be fun? Let all the guards down and see where it goes. I don't know who that's for. How, you keep your guards up. That's fear. It's why. Why are you so fearful? Let those guards down. Let them down. Let them down, baby. Let them down. Are these upside down again? I did it again. Okay. Oh, you know what? This is bringing you a lot of frustration. For somebody, it is the 9. This relationship is bringing you frustration. It's been like up and down and up. Would you just say it? Would you be just honest? Get it over with. The 10 of. So this needs to be the quick Band-Aid ripoff. Okay. Because you have the Queen of Wands and you end with the Queen of Wands, which is a victory. Okay. A victory in communication, a victory in clarity, a victory in what you need to say or what they need to say to bring things to move to the next level, because it's at stalemate. Okay. Definitely. But it needs to come quickly because that is the Band-Aid effect. Okay. And then with this moving forward, you're going to actually have what you want. Now, when you do that, what you want, be ready for the answer. Emotionally prepare yourself. If it goes this way, okay, it wasn't our cup of tea. If it goes this way, yay, celebration. Okay. Because I think somewhere there was four one somewhere, but that might have been in another reading. But the thing is, you're not going to lose. You're winning either way. You're if they say no, or if this is not the way that you're supposed to go, then great. You didn't waste my time. Yeah, and actually, divine protected me. My guides protected me, and I get to move forward. And if they say yes, woo, we get to try it. And if it doesn't work out, what's the worst that can happen? It didn't work out. All right. And you know where you stand. Exactly, you know where you stand. And that's the best thing and the most peace. That's what you're looking for is peace. And that's where you're going to get peace when you have the answers and you have clarity. All right. All right. Last ones. We are looking at air. I think we're looking at air. Well, you know what? That is a skill. How to ask. That definitely is a skill. Um, put in your mind, how would you like to be asked that question? You have to say, okay, if I had to ask that question to myself, how would I like to hear it? If I were to, ask that, how would you ask that? Hi. And here I am too. No, but seriously, asking, it's like, um and it depends on what type of question you're asking. So let me give you a hypothetical while I get ready for the air signs. So if you're going to ask something like, say again, we were talking about somebody in the past, and so you would say, we've been friends a long time, and it's been 3 years, and I love this. You always want to, whenever you're going to ask a question, you always do a positive, hit the question, and then a positive after. Okay, so I really love us being friends. I love it. But what are your intentions from now, or what is it that you are expecting of our friendship or our, and if they say, well, I like what we're doing right now, and hey, that's cool. I like hanging out with you. They just gave you, you're not a permanent for them. You're a friend, but it'll never work into a relationship because they're being very vague. If they give you a vague answer, then you really need to step back and observe if this is a person that you want, because they're going to waste your time. That's when you set your boundaries and standards and you stay put. And it's just like, I have spent 3 years investing in this friendship. I want to date and move forward. Is that something that you want to do with me? Don't just say, I want to date, because they'll say, yeah, I want to date. Sure, it could be with every Tom, Dick, and Harry kind of a thing. But no, you have to be specific when you ask a question. And even if it's a bad situation, you have to, you know, I bring a situation where my mother used to call my ex-boyfriend, and this was many years ago. She'd say, "What's his name? What's his name? What's his name?" And I was going through counseling at that time for being sexually abused, and and my mom would do that all the time, and it was very disrespectful to him, and it was also disrespectful to me. So she would say, "Put him in a corner." Put her in a corner and ask her specific questions. So I did one day. I said, I don't want to hear you call him, what's his name? Why is it you're having a problem calling him by his name? Blah, blah, blah. And I put her in the corner and she answered. She goes, I don't like him. And I'm like, that's fine that you don't like him, but I do. And his name is blah, blah, blah. Please use that after today. And she did. Put him in the corner. Okay. Air signs. Here we go. Woo! Lot. You got little pentacles here. Not much though. Um, Definitely victory, victory, victory. And somebody's going to be looking back at their victory. So this is a spiritual victory. You might not think it's a victory, but it is a spiritual victory. It's the number 5. It's something that you're not used to. Okay, so okay. Air signs. My fickle air signs. I call them fickle because they get bored really easy, they move in really fast, and then they get bored and all that kind of thing. It's not a bad thing, that's just what they are. So you've got a spiritual battle going on here between your spirit and your mind, because at this point in time, whatever you wanted is coming your way. Now you're scared. Okay, you're scared that it's too true, it's too good to be true. It's too, like, you've been offered something. Is it hypothetical? You've been offered something, say, oh, you know what? We want to promote you. We want you to be a manager, but you're going to need to move to Texas, whatever. You're like, wow. And then you're like, ooh, Texas. Then you're like, ooh, that sounds really fun, exciting, adventurous. And you're like, now this fear kicks in. Oh, is this something that I should do? Again, it's looking to the future for you, air signs. This is going to be, I think, more in the May. It's definitely a movement forward to where you want to go, but it is scary. It is something that it's a new feeling for you, where it's taking you, and you just don't know if you should do it. Again, you have to listen to your intuition. Okay. If you look at the Hierophant, he's talking to 2 people. He's actually teaching. Okay. So divine is trying to teach you to sort of jump in, but also jump in with the knowledge of um, doing your due diligence of researching whatever it is that it is. So this might be a relationship that you're jumping into. I think it's more, I can't tell on this one. We'll get some clarification. But there is something that is moving towards that. It's going to be a victory for you. It's the number 10 again, the number 1, here we go again. The number 5, it's an energy that is new, it's uncomfortable, it's out of your box, it's out of your forte kind of a thing. So, but my concern here is that you're not going to let it happen. So the 6 of Wands is all about victory, and it's a victory that you do it yourself, because this is a decision you have to make yourself. This is something that you do for yourself. The horse is moving forward and you're moving with it, and it might be baby steps, but this is something you do yourself. But again, that fear of looking back. But the 5 of Swords is also about it's about a victory, but it's doing it alone, but not doing it egotistically. Okay. You don't want to do it like, oh, I got this promotion, or I got this, or this happened to me, or I won this money, and blah, blah, blah. It's not showing it off. That needs to be okay, because that itself will shoot you in the foot. Okay, that egotistical. Spiritual is, you never have to talk about it. When somebody comes to me, if a guy comes to me and I'm getting to know him or whatever, and he says, I'm a good person, I'm a good person. Why do you have to keep saying you're a good person? You don't say you're a good person, you show you're a good person. All right. So that's the way it goes. All right. So let's see what the clarification for the air signs is. So we have the Queen of Swords on the Hierophant. Okay. Queen, 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 queen. A lot of feminine energy, because feminine energy, what is like the Empress about? It's about being empathetic on how you do things, compassionate. Think about how you want to be told. Think about how you would want it done to you. Think about the process before you say, okay? And then you have the Knight of Cups, again to the future on your 3 of Wands. This is something you got to be thinking about for the future here a little bit. A beautiful, beautiful clarification is the 7 of Pentacles on the 6 of Wands. Beautiful clarification. That is saying, I am looking at everything I have done, all the hard work I have put into this, all the investment. Relationships are an investment. So if it's a relationship, if it's a job, if it's a hobby, you're going to see the rewards. You're your own saboteur. Don't sabotage yourself. 2 of Swords is on top of the 5 of Swords. What does that mean? That is like, did I do the right thing? Did I not do the right thing? Again, the Temperance card is in the general reading. Take the patience to observe what is happening. Don't worry about the outcome. It will come as it's supposed to. And let things flow. Thank you for that. Let things flow. Okay. And this is definitely the loyalty card and the fear challenge. I hear challenge. This is a challenge for somebody to do. Again, it's the number 10. Number 1. You've got so many 10s and 1s in the whole reading for the rest of the month and the first part of May. I think this is going to have to go into May. I feel that energy. It's not something that's just going to, okay, it's going to happen this week. No, you're the one that creates the energy. You're the one that creates the motivation to move forward. You're the one that ramps up your frequency in to move or not to move. Fear will keep you from not moving. Motivation, yourself, baby step if you have to keep moving forward. That's the courage to building a higher frequency and building that peace, building that calmness, building that intuition to be able to feel and hear your intuition, your spirit, the auras, and all that stuff around. I'm not going to go into being an empath because I can feel so much that's going around. All right. So that's for the air signs. All right. Now, if you're still on and you want to ask a question, this is the time to do it. All right. This is the time to ask a question. Or if you have a comment or just want to share where you're at, this is the sort of the free time that I love to give my community, my warriors. I call you guys my warriors, and to give you that free time. And then also too, don't forget, you can go on Etsy and get a one-on-one reading, Divine Warrior Intuitive. And I think you can do 3 cards, you can ask a question, you can do a whole 5 cards, and I give you a photo of the spread. I give you an audio of it so that you can keep that, and it's authentic. It's not AI. So many on there. Be careful on Etsy. There are so many on there that are AI, or they're like Chat GPT'd, and they're not real. So what you do is you get the real thing with me. All right. Okay. Can you do me next, please? Are you still on? Did you have a question? Okay, question. Are you able to see what Jerry is feeling? Okay, let's see what Jerry's feeling. I don't want that deck. What is Jerry feeling about us? Did you ask this last week? Did you ask this last week, or was that somebody else? Let's find out. Okay, we'll see what's going on. Now, remember, you create your own energy. Okay, you create your own energy. You can create the energy to be a high vibrational, which you need to keep in order to keep your relationships going. That's being transparent, honest, true, and being playful. I hear playful. I don't know if you're playful or not, but definitely need some playful time in there. All right. Too many cards. Too many cards. That one's okay. Okay. So what I have is the Nine of Cups. We have the Queen of Wands and the Tower. Okay. Tower, a lot of people think is horrible, but it's not. It's actually a really good card because it shows you what needs to change. So, like, for example, I was saying playful. If you're not playful, that needs to change. You need to be playful. Again, you need to ask those hard questions again. Hey, there are some actually inspirational teachers out there, light workers out there that check in with their partners once every 6 months and they say, hey, where are we at? Are we good? Are we still in love? Are we loving each other? If you're not doing that, that might have to happen so that you can stay on the same page. Am I playful enough? Are you getting your needs met? It's not about me, it's about them. Are you getting your needs met? Am I meeting your needs? Because you're individual, when you come together, you're just, all you're doing is helping each other, support each other, love each other. So whatever that is, it's definitely there. But there does need to be some communication to make it better. Okay. So whatever that is, that's for both of you. And I think that's and I think that maybe that would, I feel a lighter heart on the other end. Maybe Jerry, that's maybe Jerry's heart, a lighter end because it's, you're feeding into him as well. And men love to be fed into, love to be treated as kings. Are you treating him as a king? So that's the whole thing about that. So definitely a little bit more. I just keep hearing playfulness. Make sure you're getting enough playfulness because he apparently he must like that. And I don't mean sexual. I mean just, what is it he likes to do? What is it, have fun, have a date night, if it's role play or whatever it is, because a lot of you guys are, yeah. Yeah. All right. I hope that helped. I'm not sure if it did, but I hope so. Thank you. Well, if you don't feel like your community, you need to ask him, how is it that you would like me to communicate? Um, you know, again, a lot of it, I'm going to tell you right now, ladies, a lot of it is about how you treat him. So they love to know that they have their peace, they have their space, they have their sanctuary. If you're living together, when they walk through that door after work, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Give them an hour or two. Leave them alone. They need that peace and space, that sanctuary that they just came home. You don't know what it is. It's sort of like you. Women want come when we come home, it's like, I want to tell you about my day. Men are the opposite. They just want to chill, whatever. If they like a beer after work and just chill, before as he walks in the door, go get him a beer, sit down, whatever. I'm not promoting drinking beer, but I'm just saying, whatever it is he likes to do, if he wants to get out of the shower, go take a shower, have a towel in there for him, have whatever. Treat him like a king, like he wants to be. All right. But that's just, what I have experienced and learned in my many, many years of life. All right. Okay, let me see here. Somebody had mentioned something. You haven't moved on. Whoever this is asking about how you can't get over this girl, you haven't moved on. Okay. You're not motivated like before, because you're holding on to, okay, and the reason why you're not over that girl, is because you're holding on to her. If you really wanted to move on, you would release that energy. Okay, but you don't. And maybe this is a girl that you're supposed to be with. If you had any intimacy with her, you've created a spiritual bond, and that's why that doesn't go away. Okay, that's why people have to be really careful who they sleep with, because you create a soul bond. You really do. And if you think about it, if you really look at the anatomy, I'm going to give you an anatomy lesson because I have a fitness nutrition degree and I do know a lot about anatomy. But the thing is, when you actually sleep with another person, those secretions never leave your private areas, and it absorbs into your body. So that person you carry for the rest of your life physically. When you carry something physically, that is an energy. Okay. So you got to be really careful who you sleep with, guys. You really do. But and the thing is, maybe you are actually in love with this woman or girl, and you need to have some communication. And the reason why that you're not motivated is because you're stuck in that energy and it's not motivating you. So maybe go back to her and see where she's at. You need to have some sit down again. This reading is for everybody. Have those hard questions. Okay. Definitely. I can't make this up. 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, or 4 of Swords, and the Emperor. Okay. So again, this is an energy that you need to go and have communicate. You can have it and ask yourself, why did you break up, or why are you not, seeing her? Why is it that things didn't work out? You have to go back to the foundation for you. But remember, when you go back to a relationship, if you go a relationship with her, this is not about you. You need to focus in on her, what she wants, what she needs, and then she needs to do the same for you. See, that's a mature relationship. So I don't know if that helped. So on the playfulness kind of thing too, you know what? You might have to understand that he's got something going on inside for himself. You can't make him happy. He has to make him happy for himself first. And so maybe digging a little deeper, but not nitpicking. So, ladies, we nitpick way too much. It's like, well, why can't we talk about it? You say you're fine, but you're really not fine. You don't look fine. Is everything okay? Leave him alone and just ask once and say, you know what? Is there something that I can do to better our relationship? Or is there something I am doing wrong? Is there something you need? Again, we start trying to think about ourselves when we're not on this earth about for ourselves. We're on earth to help others and to be a partner to other, a support to other, a lover to others. We're not a lover for ourselves. Yeah, what we want, what we need, we try to look for in another partner. But the thing is, if we don't communicate what we need and like and things of that nature, and where we love our bodies to be touched, then they have no clue whatsoever. If you think they do, well, they should read my thoughts, or well, they should know what. No, they can't read between the lines. Nobody can read between the lines. Be honest. That's where the courage, that's where this card came in today. This is where this came in today. All right. She got a new family. So does that mean she physically moved away? She got married to somebody else? Or in some cultures, they do matchmaking and all that kind of stuff. I lived in Japan and they still do that there. That's why I didn't get married to the Japanese guy that I did. And it was supposed to be that way. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it was supposed to be that way. All right. Yeah, so it can make things harder. A lot of the times, if you can't be together anymore, she's got a new family that I'm sort of vague. I'm not quite sure about that, but sometimes we have to make the decision to move. You know. Okay, so then you just need to figure out how to surrender and release that energy to the universe. Okay. Okay. So you have to release that. You have to release it to the energy. And the thing is that when you hold on to something, you don't allow something to come in new. So you keep thinking about that. When you surrender that energy, it's going to be like an addiction. You just have to go cold turkey, release it, and say, you know what? I love that person. I care for that person. But I have to release them because I want the best for them. And where they're at right now, this is the best place for them. And I need to move on, so I release this energy into the universe and I need to surrender it and let it flow. And it's like a river. It'll take it down the river and then you focus on the new because that's where your motivation will kick in when you surrender it. And even if you have to physically put a little leaf or a cup and say take that energy away, whatever you need to do, or take a piece of paper and burn it in a cup or whatever and say take that energy away, and focus in on something new. That's your mindset. You have to allow that surrender to happen for your mindset to go to that next frequency, that next level for that new person, or it's not going to come in because you are holding yourself back. Again, we sabotage our own self. Okay, we sabotage our own self. And I'll tell you, I'm human. I did that for many, many years. And because I had hope and pined that my ex would come back. And it's a long, long, long story. But we do love each other very much, but he's not coming back. So I had to surrender and release. Was it easy? No. But I got to be to the point where I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to move on. I want to have that love again. I want to have that feeling again. And I couldn't do that until I surrendered. And I'll tell you what, I know you guys might not believe me, but when I did surrender, it was like a humongous thing lifted off my shoulders. And it hasn't been a bad thing at all because now I'm moving forward. And yeah, maybe I have met somebody and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, we do. We sabotage ourselves, but we don't need to. We sabotage ourselves because we're fearful. We live in fear. We definitely live in fear. Yeah. Yeah. And it is tough, but again, this is where this card comes in. This is where this courage comes in. This is where the fear, the surrender has to come in. It does take a lot of courage to surrender, and I commend anybody who has done it and gone through it, because it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of energy, and it's a daily thing. Does it mean that you don't fall back and maybe you get a little sad? That sadness is just the process of grieving because you did surrender it. It's an old chapter that is now done. Sometimes we want to, it's like the cemetery. I tell people when I coach, you go back to the cemetery, you put flowers, you remember them, you do that, and then you go home. You don't put a tent on the cemetery grave. You don't stay there. You don't moan and groan and I'm not motivated and blah blah blah. No, it doesn't. But that's what happens, and then you do get depressed, and your vibrations begin to go this way, this way, this way, this way, rather than putting the flowers on the grave, saying, "I love you, and I do miss you, and you know what? We had a fantastic time, and I thank God or whoever you believe in for allowing me that short dance in my life because it brought me joy. And now it's time to get new joy, new happiness. All right? All right. All right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, my ex is now married, but you know what? I'm mature enough to say, you know what? I just want you to be happy. I want you to enjoy life. I want you to embrace life. And thank you for the dance. It taught me a lot. Lots of lessons were given to me. Lots of lessons were given to you, and we're friends. You know, and that's emotional maturity, and that's what I hope for this person that has never going to be with his other person, is that it brings you emotional maturity, and that brings a new person into your life. All right. But I love you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for coming in today. Um, what is this? What is this? This is Tuesday. I will try to come back on Thursday. So for your subscriptions, please go ahead and hit the notification. Hit that bell so you know that I'm on. Again, I try to come on once a week. We did do the end of April, so if I come on again, it'll be for the first part of May. But I've got a ton of leather work to do, and again, the doctor says start to slow down both jobs. So we'll see what happens. So um, definitely, thanks, Felix. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. I hope some of this helped. But we'll see you again next week. All right. I am. I'm trying. I've got to slow down. You know what? My mind is young. My body is old. So it's time to slow down. One job. That's the goal. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you next week. All right. Or Friday or Thursday. Subscribe, hit that bell, go get a one-on-one reading, whatever you'd like to do. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.